Okay, so the final story of the day, and this is the one that everybody's clicking on, then leaving. So we're finally getting to the meat and potatoes. So, as we know, and I put out a poll the other day, The Mandalorian is going to be beginning March 1st. Now, that being said, we are going to be covering The Mandalorian here on the channel. Kyle and I discussed it, and we got a bunch of stuff going on, and we are going to be covering it and doing the spoiler cast for it. So come back here for that. I'll talk more about that in a little bit. But yeah, and so it's one of those things where I think it's going to be another big show. I mean, I have to catch up on it myself, but it will be interesting. So the reason why this is important, it's not just because of March 1st, but um, Jon Favreau, of course, the big wig of the Mandalorian, and this comes from the Wrap, basically says that Mandalorian 4 season 4 has already been written. So, in an interview with a French media outlet, he said, "We have to know." Um, let me read the article. So, it's already been written. There's a possibility of the tale that Favreau has already written several scripts for the breakout live action series before it's even greenlit. So he's worked at a furious pace, overseeing several seasons of The Mandalorian, much to the related output of the Book of Boba Fett. In a new interview, as I said, which you can find on Twitter, he slips that it's already been written and it's ready to go. We have to know where we're going to be telling a fully formed story. We mapped it out. Dave Filoni himself and I slowly started to write each episode. I was writing it during post production. All of it is felt feels like a continuation in one full story. While this may while this might seem like a dig at the Star Wars trilogy, while this might rightfully seem like a dig at the Star Wars sequels trilogy, which often let felt filmmakers with little in the way of progress or consistency, there is more than that to that too. Favreau is stressing the importance of a unified storyline because Filoni is now working on spin-offs like Okasawa with Rosario Dawson, and another show which Favreau reveals is on the set basically in the same time period as Mandalorian. So Okasawa and Skeleton Crew all take place within the Star Wars time period. There's a lot more things we've got to keep in mind, and also stuff we're building up from the previous seasons of The Mandalorian as well. So he goes on to say that this is going to be hitting streaming on the first, and so you're going to get much more information in March because that's when Star Wars Celebration is going to be going on, or that. So I gotta say that I like the fact that he's already got the fourth season written. Now I have to sit down and I have to watch all of the first two seasons. I kind of know what happens, but one of those things. Um, I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to cover it, and yeah, I think it's going to be one of those things where Boba Fett has always been, well, I mean, Mandalorian, but even in the early Star Wars movies, Boba Fett was one of those very mysterious characters, right? Like a Han Solo. You never knew where he came from, and this whole Mandalorian thing's bringing all these revelations out. Um, I can't wait for this. I can't wait for season three. And as I said before, we're going to be covering it here on the channel. Okay, so how it's going to work is this. Um, we are going to be covering every so the episode begin March 1st, as everybody else knows, and we're going to be doing the spoiler cast on the second or the day right after it. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. I think that this is going to be the biggest season of it yet, and I like they're only making 8 episodes, not only for viewing content for me, but because they're probably quality. They're probably top notch quality, and we're in the thick meat and potatoes in the thick of it right now. So yeah, I can't wait for this. So yeah, what do you guys think? He said he already wrote season 4, and they've already got a storyline planned out. Do you think he's jumping the gun a little, or are you happy that they've got it all taken care of? Um, what else Star Wars are you looking forward to? Are you looking forward to the Skeleton Crew or Okasawa or any of these other Bad Batch maybe or any of these other ones? Leave your thoughts down in the comments for me, and I will respond to them. Okay, guys. So that's going to do it for today's show. But I just wanted to touch on a couple of things before we head out today. Um, so um, we've got a big couple of weeks coming up, and I mean big, 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 big couple of weeks coming up. Um, so let me just run through exactly what we're going to be doing. So we are covering still. I mean, we just did another stream of The Last of Us. So we're going to be going to episode 7 this week. And anybody who has seen the previews for episode 7, it looks like we're going to be getting the Left Behind DLC finally. So, really curious to see where that goes. I mean, I've played it all, and I'm just curious to see how that whole thing goes. Um, so, we just had Quantumania come out. We just did a spoiler cast you can find. Um, if go check that out. Kyle and I ended up doing a spoiler cast about it. We ended up figuring out, giving our thoughts and descriptions about it, and it was good. It wasn't great. I thought Jonathan Majors gave was the shining star of that movie. I thought his scenes with Michelle Pfeiffer were amazing, but it did have its issues. So it is what it is. Um, so this is when it's going to start to pick up. Creed 3. So this is coming out in 2 weeks, and it looks amazing. Now I have to sit down and watch Creed. Um, so that being said, um, we are going to be doing Creed Week here on the channel. So yeah, we're going to be doing Creed Week here on the channel. So we're going to do rewatches of Creed, Creed 2, and then going to see Creed 3. So that being said, I'm going to go see Creed 3 probably on Thursday. And the spoiler cast for that, for Creed 3, is going to be on the 4th or the 5th. It'll be the 5th. The Saturday will be on the 5th. And then don't forget, tune in for The Last of Us stream on the 6th. And then we're going to have that. And then we're going to jump right to May. I mean, now don't get me wrong. There were other things that were coming out, like John Wick and everything else. But um, but yeah, there's going to be other stuff there. But these are the ones we're going to be doing spoiler cast for. So, Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Really looking forward to that. You got Across the Spider Verse, which is the second. You've got Transformers, which the June's going to be packed, right? Absolutely packed. You're going to have Transformers: Rise of the Beast on the 9th. You got the Flash on the 16th, and then at the end of the month, you've got Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. So, I mean, June is going to be absolutely packed. And we're going to be doing spoiler cast for all of these movies. And then in July, we have Barbie, which I don't have listed here, but we also have Oppenheimer. Well, we have Mission Impossible first. That's going to be huge. Um, I can't, I mean, that's right now probably the most anticipated movie of the year next to The Flash. Um, can't wait for that. Can't wait for that. And then, of course, you have Oppenheimer, and then several other films, which will be coming out later on this year. I would just say this, guys: come back here because you're going to be getting all this content. You're going to be getting the roundup the weeks that we don't do the spoiler cast. You're going to be getting all this great stuff. You're going to be getting a whole Mandalorian series. You're going to be getting the rest of The Last of Us, everything. Um, I would say this, as it says down there, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. because it's all going to be great stuff. And we're going to be, Kyle and I are going to be so busy from March to August. It's going to be crazy. And you're going to be getting great shows. Not to mention, we're always on the lookout for great interviews. Speaking of The Last of Us, you can go check out Kyle's fantastic interview with Timothy Good. He is the editor, the chief editor of the number one streaming series in the world right now, The Last of Us. And yeah, guys, we're just we're just putting all this great content out there for you. Um, you want to follow me on Twitter? Hit me up on Twitter. Okay, um, that's my screen name. I'm always hosting spaces. Kyle is always in spaces, and come follow us there. We're always talking about movies, and yeah. So I think that's it. Oh, I should say one other thing before we go. Um, we are going to be doing a Heat for the perfect movies. We are going to be recording Heat, which is going to be our March perfect movie in our perfect movie series. I'm going to be recording that on Friday. Fargo is going to be coming to you next week as well. That is the first reactions film. So you guys are going to be getting that. And yeah, you guys are going to be getting all that content. So that's about it for today. So do the three things you need to do: be safe, be careful, and have a great day. And I'm David Steele, and this has been Real Talks, and you have a good one. Bye bye, guys.